Okay, so to start off, Josh, could you just begin by explaining to us how you first got involved in football and when?
I was in about year one, so about 5 or 6, when one of my friends' dads who runs my local football team, just started telling our parents to take your kids. So I nagged my mum and she took me, and kind of carried on for that team for years. So about 7 or 8 years I played for that team, mainly as a defender, but I've since become a goalkeeper for about 3 years. So, and now I've been scouted and I play for Sheffield United Academy.
Okay, so how does the scouting system work then? Where are the scouts from? How do they find people?
Well, they just turn up to your Sunday League matches, so it's a case of being in the right place at the right time. So I was pretty lucky to get scouted because the team I was playing for weren't the best team, but because we were playing against a really good team, the scout happened to be there, and it kind of went on from there.
And are there many people that get scouted? I mean, is this quite a privilege? How many people your age, say, are involved in Sheffield United through being scouted?
Well, they all get scouted at some point, but some start at a younger age. Like under 9s, some people have been there, but there are others who've only just been scouted, so it kind of varies across. It just depends how early you develop as a footballer, skills and technique there.
Okay, so what about in time commitment then? So how much does this involve? A much larger kind of amount of your time? How much kind of coaching and things are you involved in, and games? How does it work?
Well, when I was playing for my Sunday team, it was train once a week and play on a Sunday, but now that I'm at United, I train on a Tuesday and Thursday for a couple of hours, and we play a match on Mondays and Saturdays, and every now and then we get to miss school to train on a Friday, so we get a day off just to train.
Why is that important, to the training aspect? What do you do?
Help you develop, and get the coaches they understand a lot more than most people, and they know how to develop players. Some players might not develop well with a certain type of coaching, but they'll know when to use a different technique. Some people, you need to have a good shout at them to get them to realise what they've done wrong. Other people, you need to put that arm around them, get just nice chat with them.
Yeah.
And it's just knowing which players need what.
Okay, interesting. I'm just going to open it out to the floor now and see if anyone's got any questions about the kinds of things that Josh is involved in through sort of Sheffield United.
What kind of stuff do you have to do for your training?
It varies because I'm a goalkeeper. I do lots of goalkeeper training. So basically, your coach kicking balls at you. But there's a few more aspects, like you do gym work, it's not, at this age, it's not about developing strength, it's more technique in gym for in future when you are required to do that for strength. But we have psychology as well, so our concentration techniques and that. And then there's just training with team, which just kind of gets you used to playing with each other.
What does the psychological training involve?
Well, it's just in a classroom, you've got your psychologist talking to you about, and every session there's a different topic, so sometimes it's concentration, sometimes it's emotional control, and you just talk about what the causes of, say, you come up with examples of players who have good emotional control and bad emotional control, and you come up with techniques to make sure you're good at controlling your emotions in the match. It eventually prepares you for what you might have to face in future if you get to a more competitive level.
Can you explain a bit more about this emotional control?
So on the pitch or in the sessions we do in classroom, on the pitch, it's kind of coming up with techniques. So if you feel like you're starting to lose your head a bit, getting a bit angry, just ways to calm yourself down. Like as a goalkeeper, you're like on your own, and it can get a bit difficult, but just like simple things like spitting on your gloves, it does help, and you just a few deep breaths and you calm down a bit. It's not good when you're losing your head and you're just thinking about kicking that guy who just kicked you instead of the ball flying towards you. So you just need to concentrate.
If you know how to control your emotions, how do you feel when football managers and players get angry?
I understand it's difficult to like hide your anger, but when it comes to players being violent on the pitch, that's taking it a bit too far, and I don't think they should really be playing football if they can't keep control of themselves.
Okay, so do you see this as a kind of future career option then, Josh? Is it something that you want to do really long term now?
I'm hoping so, yeah. When it gets to Christmas this year, I'll find out whether I get a scholarship or not, which, if you get one, when you start under 17s to under 18s, you're there full time, so Monday to Friday, train at 8:30, 3 o'clock, so, and you get paid to do that as well, instead of carrying on like education. But not very many people get that, so that's why they let you know at Christmas you've got plenty of time to come up with your backup plan. So.
And if you get a scholarship, is it then quite likely that you might be able to become professional, or is it still very competitive?
It's still really competitive and quite unlikely that most people actually make it professional, but the experience of playing with them like full time kind of prepares you for like future. If you want to take it semi-professional, you've still got that experience, and along that you get a coaching badge, because you have separate education sessions in the week. Okay,
so you might not necessarily play football professionally, but you're picking up skills that you could use. Okay, has anyone else got any questions about perhaps the experience that Josh might have if he does get a scholarship, or kind of future careers to do with football?
You know, if you didn't get into if you didn't get your scholarship, what would you go into then?
Well, I'd start off looking for another team, trialling, but if that didn't work out, then I'd have to just go back into education, stay in it, instead of leaving to do full-time football, and just to get on with sixth form or whatever comes next.
So if you think about your football career being extended, at what stage might you end up getting some more kind of media training, for example, dealing with the press and the PR side of things?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that comes when you're on that scholarship training full time, because obviously you can't train all day because your legs won't be able to cope with that. So there are quite a few sessions you do in classroom, and I reckon that would be one of them. Start to deal with it.
Interesting. Okay, that's really, really interesting. Thank you, Josh.